Have you ever met the connector? Well, he ponders, he helps, he creates, he writes, he speaks. He basically connects people and brings them together. I speak about Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group. At psandallmarketinggroup.com, you will receive an assembled group of Paul's contacts and connections that cross into many sectors of life. Please contact Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com if you are in the market for a wide array of services. Again, please contact The Connector, Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com with any questions. And now, here's Paul Solano, the host of Paul Ponders.
Welcome to Hashtag Paul Ponders. I've really enjoyed bringing you fun, informative, intriguing, and pondering podcasts. Many thanks to Hashtag Pod Pro Entertainment. Today's collaborating sponsor, Scott Albertson of Hashtag Project142.org, Riverworks Credit Union, NMLS number 410564, and Remax Renaissance Realty of Reading. Thanks for listening, rating, reviewing, and subscribing. Let Hashtag Paul Ponders begin. Greetings, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well today. Well, this is a very special episode. It isn't often that I have many repeat guests on Paul Ponders, and I'm very, very honored to have a very dear friend on this very special day, Mr. Paul P.J. Sieswerda. PJ, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Paul. I appreciate you having me on the show again. It's always a privilege to be on Paul Ponders.
And it's really great to have you, and especially on this very special day, PJ. It is your birthday. I don't know if you want to divulge later on about what birthday this is, but this is a very special day. So how have you spent your day on this birthday?
So this birthday is a milestone, and I have no qualms about telling people that I am 60 years old today, and it's a milestone on several occasions. One is it's 50 years since the seal in the bathtub came into my life, or the seal came into my life, which instituted the seal in the bathtub, and then also 60 years. Spending it at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute with my boys today was a very special day that I was privileged to go behind the scenes and see the Alvin, which is a submersible submarine that goes to the depths of the abyss in our oceans and exploring volcanic activity and all sorts of sea life at the bottom of the ocean. So we got to see a presentation on that and took the day off with my boys. So that was something really special that I can't thank God enough for that.
Absolutely, without a doubt, and it is really just truly special to spend some time with your great boys, and they're very blessed to have you as a father and all the great things that you do with them and paving the way. Now, I will say that you mentioned earlier about 50 years ago, there was a seal in your bathtub. So tell us about the seal in the bathtub and what eventually happened.
So the seal in the bathtub story originated 50 years ago when my dad, who was working at the aquarium, brought a seal home to be cared for because it needed some rehabilitation. And back then in 1976, they did not have rehab centers for wildlife like that. So we were surrogate parents to this animal, and we cared for it in our home in Malden. And so reminiscing about those times with my dad, we put this on top of the Big Whale, Big City book, and we did another children's book, which is called The Seal in the Bathtub, and that was released on his birthday this year, March 6th. So it's a birthday brigade, and we're having a lot of fun with these old stories that are coming back to life.
That is awesome. Awesome. Now, how do our listeners get a copy of this book?
It is on Amazon. I just launched a website, which is sieswerdastories.com, And so this you can order it on Amazon, or what I plan to do is do story times throughout the area, hopefully through the summer, and just book some independent bookstores around the area, like Molly's bookstore over in Melrose, and some other bookstores in the area. I'm instituting story times. And yesterday I happened to speak to my son's third grade class at the Forestdale School, and they were in the story time with Big Whale Big City with my dad. So they remembered the stories of Big Whale Big City, and then bringing in my good friend Joe Paragona. He did a story on his book, which is called Alan the Wrench. So we did a story time, and it was really surreal to be with a high school friend of mine from the vocational school that we went to trade school for carpentry, and we're now presenting children's books, and it's just it's been a whirlwind.
That is a pretty cool experience, I will say. And, in the spirit of self promotion and all, Joe Paragoner is the past Paul Ponders guest. And for any listeners out there, make sure you check out that episode with Alan the Wrench. Really a great episode as well. And I thank you for that referral.
It's really something to me to what I've learned out of this seal in the bathtub story, and one of the stories that Joe puts into place is about bullying and feeling out of place, and that's what I institute on the seal in the bathtub too. It's not every day a seal ends up in the suburbs, and you can only imagine and how a seal feels displaced like that. And that is what I want kids to feel comfortable with, is if they're uncomfortable in their settings, that there's people around that care about them and that can lift them up. And that's instituting the creativity and the imagination. And the creativity around these stories are something that is very special and dear to me to teach these younger generation.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that meets your seal of approval.
Absolutely, the seal of approval, Paul. You always
Indeed.
got those puns. I love it.
Hashtag indeed, indeed. And yeah, you and Joe could actually go on the circuit or even just do some storytelling. Are there any groups out there like a storytelling unit or whatever?
There is some storytelling units. There's some people out in Dedham, the Learning Center, the Reynolds brothers. They have a learning center where they're teaching kids to be inspired by creativity and inspiration with imagination. And that's another thing that I'm very in tune with, to teach our younger generations. I've been in talks with them, and they have a bookstore out there in Dedham, and I'm hoping to do a reading for the seal in the bathtub out there sometime soon, which is the Blue Bunny bookstore, and
Oh, okay.
Blue Bunny toys and books, and fascinating place, and looking forward to getting out there.
Oh, that's awesome. I think in the past you've told me about, I believe the author of The Diary of a Wimpy Kid is in Massachusetts.
That's another famous author that I'm in tune with, that inspiration that they're putting out to our younger generation, and that's Jeff Kinney, and he's got a place down in Plainville, Massachusetts, which is very near and dear to me. That I used to do a lot of biking and triathlon training in my youth, and I used to go by that building on West Bacon Street and see that old building that needed to be turned into something magical, and that's what Jeff Kinney and his team did. And I couldn't be more pleased with the way that corner turned out, and just inspiring more readers to be involved in our kids today.
Yeah, that's incredible. And also Plainville, I believe, a dear family friend, your dear family friend, and someone who I've come to meet, Paul Graham, is from Plainville. Is that correct? Paul and Cheryl?
He's Yep, that's where I used to spend all my time training with Paul and Cheryl, doing triathlons and road races right there in Plainville, and around the 4th of July. These are the memories, and this is what I've been doing, is going back down memory lane with all these stories. That's where the seal in the bathtub came from, and just reminiscing. I'm up here in my office, which I call memory lane. there's a lot of life to be remembered, and I like to put it into stories, and that's what I put into the Sieswerdastories.com.
Absolutely. And of course, we would be remiss if we did not mention your dad, Paul L. Sieswerda, who was just an incredible, incredible person. He was Superman in my estimation and all. And I am just totally blown away by the ripple effects that you have made with so many great things that you are accomplishing.
Well, that's what you hit the nail on the head, Paul. Is like, it all stems around my childhood and how my father volunteered and just putting himself out there into something that he thought was interesting and had that curiosity factor to get involved. And that was stemmed off of Jacques Cousteau. And I can remember, being in Miami and seeing the Calypso, and today seeing the Atlantis that brings the Alvin out to its depths. With my children, it comes full circle, and it's something really special to me to be able to share these stories with my kids and with anybody who wants to listen.
Absolutely. And, a past Paul Ponda's episode is on acronyms and mnemonics and all, but you've come up with your own, and it's called the SIP, the CIP. So let our listeners know about the SIP, CIP.
So it's creativity, imagination, and purpose. And so what you got to do is you have to have that creativity to explore, and then you have the imagination which gets you there, and then you just have to have that passion and drive that gets you over that finish line.
Absolutely. So it's that passion and purpose that really, really just drives everyone, correct?
Correct. And so another good friend of ours is what I was inspired by another book, and Dave McGilvery. So he had last pick, and he felt out of place when he was a young boy, and he was short. But what he found is his passion to run, and what came out of that is he inspired people like myself to do road races and actually be a race director, and had so much ripple effect that affected so many other people, and that's what we want to do with these stories.
Absolutely, without a doubt. So, just a quick aside, PJ, we have mutual friend Scott Albertson, Project 142. He does an absolute great job, and I know he does some stuff dressing up as Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and all. Do you think that Scott would be willing to go out and maybe dress as a seal?
That's a great possibility. We did talk about that, and Scott is one of those inspirational people that is puts himself out there and beyond, as he says, and couldn't be more blessed to be in his presence. And I think he would do that. He would sing in a steel suit on a dime.
Wow, maybe he'll play some Seals and Croft music.
That's it's a kiss from a rose. He could sing seal.
There you go. That's it. I love it. Oh boy. Well, that's great. So, PJ, as we start to wind down, and I want you to spend as much time as possible with your family on your 60th birthday. But how do our listeners again get a copy of Seal in the Bathtub?
It is on Amazon, and I'd like them to check out Sieswerdastories.com. So it's Sieswerda stories .com. And a good friend of mine, Max, put that website together for me. So I want to give him a shout out, and can't thank everybody enough for the support, and appreciate the birthday parties this week. I don't like to be one of those people that has a birthday week, but that's what it was this week for me. Is plenty of birthday celebrations, but it just shows how much that people are out there thinking of me, and I can't thank my friendships enough.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, again, a repeat guest, Paul Ponda's guests and all, Paul PJ Swerda. I want to thank you, my friend, for being a great friend and really for just doing the wonderful things that you do.
And I want to give a shout out to Techie T as well, because it is a birthday week for him, and uh, good friendship there as well. So Techie T, happy B.
And with that, hashtag indeed. I trust that you have enjoyed hashtag Paul Ponders. Again, my name is Paul Solano of PS&All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com to do some more pondering. Many thanks to my longtime collaborative friend and associate, Chalonzo Amos of Pod Pro Entertainment, in bringing you our fun, exciting, informative podcast. You rock, Techie Chalonzo. With PS&All Marketing Group, I created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com with any questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Paul Ponders. Follow us on Twitter at Paul Ponders Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Paul Ponders Podcast. Thank you again for listening to hashtag Paul Ponders, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, paulponders.com, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment, hashtag Paul Ponders lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com, hashtag the new radio. Until we meet again, my friend, stay well, hashtag indeed.